Well, for nearly 70 years, KOMU8 has brought you important news, sports, and weather on our live broadcasts, thanks in part to this. This over 700-foot tower of steel has stood high above our building since the 1950s until this week. And in this MVP, I'll tell you what it's meant to this community and to someone who helped build it 7 decades ago. Drive down Highway 63 in Boone County, and you know you're nearing Columbia's city limits when you pass this tower. A skyline staple for nearly 70 years.
That this is a cable, basically.
92-year-old Bill Lang should know.
Yeah.
He helped build it.
I like a squirrel, like a monkey.
In 1953.
I love that. I love that high work. I could look down to the ground and everybody looked like ants.
Undeterred by working in the sky,
Height was just nothing to it.
This former electrician said yes to his first job on a TV tower nearly 7 decades ago.
The union hall called and wanted to know, said, "You look like the guy that almost got enough guts to want to go out there and do some work." And I said, "Oh yeah, that sounds like a very big challenge for me, you know, and I'll take on anything new." Our purpose, main thing was to do all the obstruction lights, which is conduits that go up and down the tower.
From there, KOMU started its climb to the top of history.
The news is gathered and reported on KOMU by students at the University of Missouri School of Journalism.
As the first broadcast TV station in mid-Missouri.
Channel 8 was, I guess, the first one. Everybody remembers their first TV set when all you saw was the signal. TVs were like 12 inches big, or maybe 16 at the most, and now they're monsters.
A lot has changed since Bill first climbed this tower.
See, they're riding the ball up.
Including the way the crew communicates.
We didn't have two-way walkie-talkies like you do now. I can remember the signals were whoop, 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 whoop. They'd bark like a dog, you know, and that meant they'd go up a little or down a little. Didn't have the technology then they do now.
Years of advancements and new safety regulations called for a new tower. KOMU8's senior manager of broadcast operations led the project.
The problem with this design was actually in the base section, that they did include some horizontal elements in there, and when you subject that to a computer analysis, it couldn't accurately tell us how strong that base was. It wouldn't make the design standards that we have in place today, so we had to replace the tower.
And just like Bill saw this tower go up, he watched it come down.
And that's how they go up, in sections, and they come down the same way.
Every section of this tower is about 30 feet long, which is nearly the size of a school bus, and each weighs about 7,000 pounds. When the crew was tearing things down, they noticed mixed-matched materials, which was likely a sign of the times.
And think about 1953, where we were just coming out of a war, and steel was in high demand. It was hard to get materials, and we've noticed taking down the tower that we've ran across several different sizes of bolt heads. You could tell they've been trying to find materials to keep that tower construction going.
Now, KOMU8 is taking its next step, hoping to reach new heights with this new tower.
We intentionally designed it with 15% additional strength to try to think about those things that may need to do in the future. The biggest thing is that I can now get signals in even Columbia that there was places that Channel 8 was not receivable, that is easily receivable now.
But before we move forward,
I think that's one of my conduits right there. See that pipe right there?
Bill looks back.
I don't even think we come down for dinner or nothing.
As KOMU lowers a legacy,
I'm sad to see it come down.
One thing remains.
But it served its purpose.
The station's 70 years of dedication to the place it calls home.
I'm just thinking about all those years. That was a big thing, Channel 8. It's getting the first TV in central Missouri. And a big shout out to my photographer, Dominic Lee, for getting that beautiful drone video. KOMU8 celebrates its official 70th anniversary in December. Bill went on to help build TV towers across mid-Missouri, and you heard him say he was always up for a challenge, right? So it shouldn't come to you as a surprise that he went on to have 10 children, 5 boys and 5 girls.